Every day we witness the darker side of the world around us. We see how people can hurt others in ways that are difficult to comprehend. It's a harsh reality, one we cannot ignore. As someone deeply immersed in the world of crime, I am here to share the most shocking stories and explore what drives people to commit such acts. Well, to my channel, and today, I bring you another incredible true crime story. On a cold December night in 2016, the peace of a quiet Toronto neighborhood was shattered by the sound of a woman's screams that abruptly fell silent. Inside the house, 3 children lay asleep, completely unaware of the horrific events unfolding just a few rooms away. By morning, 40-year-old Dr. Elana Fric, a beloved physician and mother of 3, had vanished. Her husband, Dr. Mohammed Shamji, claimed she had left their home with a suitcase and another man. But what seemed like a simple explanation concealed something much darker. What really happened to Elana that night? And how did her seemingly perfect life take such a tragic turn? Elana Fric was born in 1977 in Windsor, Canada, to Joseph and Anna Fric. She had an older sister, Caroline. Her parents, originally from Croatia, had moved to Canada in the 1960s to work for General Motors. After Caroline's birth in 1970, the Frics suffered heartbreak, losing 2 pregnancies and being told they would never have more children. Then, against all odds, Elana was born in 1977, a miracle to her grateful parents. During her early years, the family relocated to Tecumseh, a small town in southwestern Ontario. Elana grew up as a bright, curious child, often engrossed in books. She attended St. Peter's Elementary School and later Santa Ana High School. In high school, she participated in Croatian folk dance and spent summers working in local cornfields. She was also athletic, competing on her school's track and field team. During these years, Elana met a boy named Mathieu Renaud, and the two quickly became inseparable. They shared meals with each other's families and bonded over a deep love for music. In the 1990s, they fulfilled a dream by attending a Nirvana concert together. Friends and family believed they were destined to marry. However, after high school, life took a different course. Elana pursued medicine at the University of Ottawa, while Mathieu stayed in their hometown. The long-distance relationship proved difficult. Despite their engagement, Elana eventually ended things, choosing to focus on her studies. Elena's determination to succeed stemmed from watching her parents endure grueling factory work. She often remarked on the exhausting nature of their jobs and resolved to build a career that provided financial stability and a better quality of life. Her dedication paid off, and she thrived in medical school. In 2003, while working as a resident at the Ottawa Hospital, Elana caught the eye of Mohammed Shamji, a neurosurgery resident. Mohammed came from a wealthy and prestigious family in Ottawa. His father, Dr. Farid Shamji, was a renowned thoracic surgeon. Having attended the country's best schools, Mohammed was regarded as a medical prodigy. He began joining Elana for games of pool in the hospital's recreation room and soon asked her out. She was drawn to his intelligence, ambition, and elite background. However, despite her growing feelings, she sometimes wondered if she was good enough for him. Their relationship, though, was far from ideal. Elana was deeply invested, but Mohammed's behavior often left her disappointed. He skipped her medical school graduation, claiming to be sick, only for her to later learn he had been out with friends. He was also unfaithful, seeing another woman from his university days. Despite these red flags, Mohammed's charm and persistence convinced Elana to stay, even after she had tried to end the relationship twice. In April 2004, Elana introduced Mohammed to her parents. Joseph and Anna were unimpressed, finding him distant and uninterested in engaging with them. Joseph warned his daughter not to settle, believing she deserved better. One morning, Anna overheard the couple arguing. When she asked what was wrong, Elana, visibly upset, insisted it was just a sleepless night. Anna let it go, assuming it was a minor disagreement. Not long after, Elana discovered she was pregnant. This put Mohammed in a difficult position. His conservative Muslim parents would disapprove of an out-of-wedlock child and his choice to marry outside their faith. Weighing his options, he decided that marriage was the best solution. The couple began planning 2 weddings, one for Mohammed's family and another for Elana's. On September 1st, 2004, they had a traditional Muslim ceremony in Ottawa. At nearly 5 months pregnant, Elana followed the customs, including intricate henna designs on her hands, which her Christian mother found unsettling. The wedding highlighted the stark differences between their backgrounds. Elana's guests were primarily hard-working relatives, while Mohammed's included prominent figures in the medical community. Alcohol was officially forbidden at the ceremony, though some guests discreetly drank in the parking lot. The couple's second wedding, a Catholic ceremony, required premarital counseling sessions, but Mohammed refused to attend. Instead, he asked a mutual friend, John Mark, to take his place. When John declined, the sessions were skipped entirely. Despite Mohammed's lack of effort, the wedding took place at St. Francis of Assisi Church in Windsor. Unlike their first wedding, this one was modest, with fewer guests. To conceal the lingering henna tattoos on her hands, Elana wore elbow-length white gloves. After the ceremony, the couple rode in a limousine to the Caesars Hotel and Casino, where they spent part of their honeymoon. Shortly after, they bought a home in Ottawa. Elana began working as a family doctor at the Ottawa Hospital, while Mohammed continued his neurosurgery residency. In January 2005, after a difficult pregnancy, Elana gave birth to their daughter. She was overjoyed, but Mohammed seemed detached, prioritizing his career. He spent most of his time in his upstairs study, barely engaging with his wife and child. Tensions escalated when Mohammed's family visited. While breastfeeding upstairs, Elana didn't immediately greet them, which enraged Mohammed. He later berated her, claiming it was disrespectful not to welcome guests at the door. Elana felt increasingly isolated and confided in her parents, saying she was walking on eggshells in her own home. Mohammed's controlling behavior worsened, and he had frequent, unprovoked fits of anger. Though she rarely spoke about her struggles, friends and family noticed her growing unhappiness. Mohammed also criticized Elana's appearance, ridiculing her weight gain and belittling her cooking. A month after their daughter's birth, tensions reached a breaking point. Mohammed, in a panic, called Elana's parents, claiming she wanted a divorce. When they called back, they overheard Mohammed hurling insults at Elana. In the spring of 2005, Mohammed was accepted into a prestigious PhD program in biomedical engineering at Duke University. Seeing an opportunity, Elana enrolled in Duke's master's program in public policy, and they planned to move to the US that fall. But just days before the move, an argument turned violent. Mohammed physically assaulted Elana. Terrified, she fled with her daughter to a friend's apartment. When Mohammed found her 3 days later, he promised to change. Following the incident, Mohammed was charged with assault and issuing threats, charges that threatened his career and his ability to cross the US border. Desperate to salvage his future, he worked to reconcile with Elana. Despite everything, she took him back. Friends and family couldn't understand why. Elana was intelligent, financially independent, and had unwavering support. Some believed she was drawn to Mohammed's status, while others thought she truly loved him and hoped their relationship would improve. But the cracks in their marriage would only deepen. The tragic case of Elana and Mohammed Shamji. The imbalance in Elana and Mohammed's marriage extended far beyond transportation. Elana carried nearly all household responsibilities, grocery shopping, assembling furniture, and even changing light bulbs. Despite her efforts, she often downplayed her role, frequently praising Mohammed's brilliance while expressing feelings of insignificance. To outsiders, Elana appeared to hold some authority in their relationship, yet she constantly sought Mohammed's approval, even for minor decisions, displaying a deep-seated submissiveness. Meanwhile, Mohammed exercised control over her movements, calling her multiple times whenever she was out, demanding to know her whereabouts and company. A picture-perfect facade. In 2009, after completing their studies at Duke University, the couple returned to Ottawa, Canada. They settled into a home near the hospital where both began their medical careers, Elana as a well-loved family doctor, and Mohammed as a neurosurgeon, earning accolades for his expertise. As their careers progressed, they cultivated an image of a successful, happy family on social media, sharing glimpses of their luxurious lifestyle with their children. However, close friends knew the truth. Mohammed controlled Elana's online presence, dictating which photos she could post, and even coercing her into harassing people he disliked. His control extended beyond social media. He forbade Elana from subscribing to her favorite newspaper and restricted their daughter's social interactions, deeming children from less affluent families unworthy. At home, he was verbally abusive, frequently calling Elana useless and stupid, asserting that his life would be better without her. Betrayal and submission. In 2011, Mohammed moved to Calgary for a year-long spinal surgery fellowship. Shortly after, Elana discovered his affair. She found incriminating emails and a credit card charge for a hotel stay with his mistress on Mother's Day. When confronted, Mohammed didn't even deny the infidelity. Devastated, Elana considered leaving him, encouraged by friends who believed she deserved better. But she stayed. She longed for his approval, convinced that their shared life was too valuable to abandon. Mohammed promised to end the affair, and after securing his dream job as a neurosurgeon at Toronto Western Hospital, they relocated to Toronto, purchasing a $1.5 million home in North York. Elana left her job in Ottawa and later found a position at the Earl Bales Clinic. However, she admitted to friends that she felt unfulfilled in her new role, believing her skills were underutilized. Hoping to mend their fractured marriage, Mohammed suggested having another child, insisting their home had an empty room and expressing a desire for a son. Elana agreed, hoping a new baby would bring renewed happiness. In October 2013, their son was born. For nearly 2 years, their relationship appeared stable. Elana formed a close friendship with her new boss, Allison Kaufman, who lived across the street. Meanwhile, Mohammed continued building his reputation, gaining recognition for performing remarkable surgeries. A marriage in ruins. By 2015, Elana left her clinic job to work at Scarborough Hospital's Family Medicine Unit and became a district delegate for the Ontario Medical Association. While her career flourished, Mohammed grew resentful of her success, reigniting tensions. In March 2016, the family traveled to Vermont, first stopping in Ottawa to leave their youngest son with Mohammed's parents. That evening, Mohammed called Elana's parents, claiming she had severely cut her right palm and was undergoing surgery. Later, Elana provided inconsistent explanations for the injury, saying she had broken a glass, cut vegetables, or hit a dish against the counter. None of her stories made sense. It was clear her wound wasn't accidental. During their Vermont trip, tensions escalated when they argued about Mohammed's past affair. He cruelly compared Elana to his mistress, claiming the other woman was far superior. The argument turned violent when Mohammed attempted to strangle her. Elana confided in friends about the attack, but chose not to report it, fearing how U.S. authorities might treat a man named Mohammed. A few months later, the couple celebrated their 12th wedding anniversary, their last. Elana gifted Mohammed a heartfelt card. "My dearest Mohammed, I love you with all my heart. 12 years, 3 kids, 4 cities, 2 countries, and a lifetime of memories. I can't wait for the next 50 years. But her words masked a far darker truth. Breaking free. By late 2016, Elana began discussing divorce. Mohammed panicked and begged her to reconsider. Though she agreed to think it over, her suspicions grew. She believed he was involved with another woman. When she confided in friends, one jokingly suggested she should get a lover herself. Surprisingly, she did. She met another doctor, also married with children. He treated her with kindness, making her feel desired for the first time in years. She later admitted to a friend that it was the first time she had experienced happiness since marrying Mohammed. Encouraged by her lover, she began imagining a life without her husband. Determined, she consulted a lawyer to start divorce proceedings. She also revealed something she had kept hidden. Mohammed had assaulted her violently in October. It was the final straw. She had to leave, not just for herself, but for her children. By late November, she officially filed for divorce. Mohammed tried to win her back with a large box of chocolates, but she remained resolute. On November 24th, she emailed a friend. "I'm in the process of separating from my husband. Things at home are chaotic. I'll try to catch up this weekend. I'll be away at a conference." That weekend, Elana attended the conference, speaking on panels and networking. Mohammed bombarded her with messages, pretending to be a supportive husband. Upon returning home, she confided in friends that she had served Mohammed with divorce papers. Her lawyer emphasized her desire for an amicable resolution and requested full financial disclosure. Elana moved into the basement of their home, but Mohammed repeatedly moved her belongings back into the master bedroom, refusing to accept the separation. A murder that shocked a nation. On December 1st, 2016, Elana's family grew concerned when they couldn't reach her. Worried, they called Mohammed, who hesitantly claimed she had left the night before with a suitcase and her boyfriend. Elena's mother, knowing her daughter would never abandon her children, contacted Allison Kaufman, asking her to check the house. Allison saw that Elena's car was still in the garage. Alarmed, she informed Elena's parents, who immediately called the police and drove overnight from Windsor to Toronto. When officers arrived, Mohammed repeated his claim that Elana had left with the suitcase. Following protocol, they searched the house but found nothing. Later that day, police discovered a suitcase near the Humber River. Inside was the body of a woman, barefoot, dressed in pajamas, and bearing severe head injuries. The autopsy revealed she had been beaten, suffering blunt force trauma before being strangled. Elena's parents were called to identify the body. Due to the swelling and damage, her mother couldn't recognize her. But her father, through tears, confirmed, "This is my daughter." The investigation quickly pointed to Mohammed as the sole suspect. He was arrested the next day at a cafe, where undercover officers handcuffed him at his table. Police uncovered chilling details. Elana had attempted to call 911 on the night of her murder, but only managed to dial 611 before Mohammed stopped her. Even more horrifying, their 3 children were in the house during the crime. Their eldest daughter later recounted hearing her mother's screams, and peering into their bedroom, saw her father lying face down on the bed. When he noticed her, he coldly ordered her back to her room. Justice and legacy. The crime shocked Canada. The seemingly perfect marriage of 2 accomplished doctors had ended in unspeakable tragedy. Elena's funeral was held on December 17th, 2016 at St. Francis of Assisi Church in Windsor, the same church where she had been baptized and married. In May 2019, after over 2 years of legal proceedings, Mohammed Shamji pleaded guilty, avoiding a full trial. He was sentenced to life in prison with no parole eligibility for 14 years. Today, Elana's 3 children live with their maternal grandparents. They speak of their mother often, but never mention their father's name.